I was nostalgic for my childhood. When I grew up, being Arab was just like viewed as people were curious about it. I grew up in a place called Lodi, New Jersey, where there were literally two ethnic groups when I was growing up in Lodi. You were either Italian or you were my father. That was the town. And my dad has an accent because he's born in the Middle East. The kids from Jersey, I'm sure you've seen The Sopranos, they have that accent. And when they met, the fun would begin. They meet my dad, they're like, "Yo, Mr. Badala, what's going on? How you doing? What's going on?" My dad looks at them, "I don't know. What is going on?" My wife tells me nothing. "Dean, what is it? Are things going down? Please, somebody tell me what it is." And the Jersey kids would look at me. "Your dad got such a freaking weird accent. Where's he from?" I'm like, "Well, he was born in Palestine." And they're like, "Oh, Southern Jersey." I'm like, no, the Middle East. They're like, "Oh, like Ohio?" Okay, sure, why not, Ohio? And my father is Muslim and my mom is Christian. And I was raised exposed to both religions. And my dad, this is completely true, would come to church with us on Christmas and Easter to be part of the family. And he took communion one time ever. And he comes back, and I look at him, I go, "What do you think of communion?" He looks at me and goes, "It needs more salt." I said, "Dad, it's not a snack, it's the body of Christ." He goes, "This I understand. Why it does not taste better, I do not get, okay? You can't have like a nacho flavor or a baklava, something fun for everybody, you know?" I think the problem is that people are afraid of us because they don't know really who we are. I mean, honestly, there are basically two news stories about us. And it's no one's fault, but there are. There's the bad story, where we're described as militant, gunmen, and terrorists, and then the occasional positive one, where we're described as alleged militant, gunmen, or terrorists. I'm jealous. We don't get a whole month that celebrates our heritage like other groups in America, like African Americans, Black History Month, Asians, Asian Awareness Month, Hispanic Awareness Month. What do we get? Orange alert. Not what we want. And I'll tell you this, even the most open-minded people, you've been conditioned by the media to be afraid of people with accents. And I can show you, I can say the same thing with or without a Middle Eastern accent. It can change the whole meaning. Why? If I go, "Hey, wait till Friday night. We've been planning this for months. People be talking about this for years." It could be a party, right? If I go, "Wait till Friday night. We've been planning this for months. People be talking about this for years." Scary, right? It's scary because sadly you're all racists, okay? It's so, and our world has changed. And I'll tell you, I always tell people, "I'm not white now anymore." And they go, "Well, you look white, I understand." But white to me in America is not skin color, it's status. It's the way you're treated in society. And let's put it this, thank you, my one friend. But let me put it this way. This difference between us and white people is white people never suffer as a group when a few people do something bad in their group. You know, Middle Eastern people do. And honestly, white people, let's be honest, done your fair share of bad things. Corporate scandals, presidential assassinations, NASCAR, Paris Hilton, country music. That is audio terrorism to me, my... And then people aren't satisfied enough. Racial profiling of Arabs and Middle Eastern people is not enough. Now, have you heard this? They want to do religious profiling of Muslims at the airport. But it's not in your passport. So is now TSA officials going to throw in a little question here and there to figure out your religion? They'll start out subtly like, "Oh, did you pack your own bag? What do you think of pork?" If I drew a cartoon of Muhammad, would you get mad? When I say Mecca, do you think of a holy place or an urban clothing line? Or maybe they'll have like a huge ham sandwich at the checkpoint. If you don't bite it, extra screening. We are so racially profiled now, and I specifically say Arabs because of this expression. I've heard this expression on TV. People have said now, Arabs are the new blacks, because law enforcement is now focused on Arabs over blacks. I'm gonna be honest. When I heard the expression, Arabs are the new blacks, I was excited. I'm like, oh my God, we're cool. White kids in the suburbs and the OC in Jersey, instead of acting black to be cool, start acting Arab with their friends. Dressing Arab, wearing like a traditional Arab headdress, tilted to the side to be cool. Open shirt, gold chain, smelling like lamb. Walking up to each other going, "What up, Mustafa? Where my Arabs at? Arab, please." White kids pimping their cars that look like taxi cabs. But you know what? Arabs and the new blacks makes no sense whatsoever. That doesn't mean anything. You know what? Sadly, Arabs, Middle Eastern people, Muslims in America, we are the new enemy. We've replaced the Soviet Union, and we are stuck here till somebody replaces us. That's why I'm begging all of you to help me taunt North Korea as much as possible. It won't take much. Kim Jong-il, the North Korean leader, is crazy. He wants attention. He's like the middle child of the axis of evil, this guy. Have you seen him with the big glasses and the hair? He's like a James Bond villain, you know, like petting the cats and stuff. And I got an idea to get Bush interested. We tell Bush, Kim Jong-il has got tons of oil in his hair. So, well, before I go, I can only hope that, we all hope people understand this more. And I also hope, selfishly, for peace in the Middle East. I have a lot of uncles and cousins who live in the West Bank. I'm sure other people have family there, or they're tied to the region by religion. And I so believe that if Ehud Olmert, the Prime Minister of Israel, and Abu Mazen, the President of the Palestinian people, made peace, one, they get the Nobel Peace Prize. That's a given. I also think they would get commercial endorsements worldwide as a result. Hear me out. One day you turn on TV and say, hello, I am Ehud Olmert. And I am Abu Mazen. For over 50 years, our people have fought each other tooth and nail. In fact, we hated each other very much. But through it all, we've always agreed on one thing: the great taste of Miller Lite. Less filling tastes great. Less filling tastes great. Now we fight only about beer. You guys, thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you so much for coming out.
Come on, sir.
Hi.
Ooh.
How are you?
Wait, you supposed to take off your jacket, but I'll do a body search for you. Ooh, yeah, Middle Eastern George Clooney.
This is uncomfortable. Is this, that's not necessary, is it?
Yes, it is, honey. Go on through.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah. He's clear.
From the heartland, a Meta Man.
Well, thanks for coming out to the Axis of Evil comedy tour. My name is Ahmed Ahmed. We have Dean Abdullah, who's Palestinian. Aaron Cater is Palestinian. Maz Jobrani is Iranian. Yeah. We're still looking for a North Korean. So if you know any, we're auditioning tomorrow afternoon. Next year, we're going to do the Axis of Evil comedy tour, the musical, on ice. So look out for that. I heard Dean earlier ask how many Middle Eastern people were here. How many white people are here tonight? White people. Welcome to our meeting. This is gonna be fun. I gotta say, it's a bad time to be from the Middle East. In fact, I read a statistic on CBS.com that said right after 9/11, hate crimes against Arabs and Middle Eastern people and Muslims went up over 1,000%. Yeah, which apparently still put us in 4th place behind blacks, gays, and Jews. Do you guys know this? We're still in 4th place. So what do we have to do? We can't even win in hatred. I want to be #1 in something. Such a bad time. I got to fly to London at the end of the month, and I hate flying because my name's on like 9 lists. I Googled my name, and it matches the name of a guy in the Middle East who's a terrorist. I think he's in the Middle East Googling me going, there's this guy in America, man. People go up to him, hey man, you're so funny, telling me a joke. I'm not the comedian. I'm a terrorist. Want me to prove it to you? I'll blow myself up right now, I swear. I hate flying though, it's because I always have to go through the TSA. They always stop me and go, Mr. Ahmed, we're gonna have to pat down your midsection. So I always look at him and I go, promise? Whenever I get on a plane, I always know who the air marshal is. Yeah, it's always the guy sitting there holding the People magazine upside down, looking right at me. I went to hotwire.com to order a ticket online. Anybody ever use hotwire.com? That's a shady website. They make you purchase your ticket first, then they tell you what airline you're flying out on and what time you fly out. So I purchased a ticket.